Woo! Hello, hello, hello. Oh man, that's living. All right, Jamie Setley here. What's happening, everybody? Can you hear me? And can you see the screen? It's all good. It says Peter. Sweet. All right, hold on. Patrick, all is not just well, all is amazing. Wow, what a week. You could say what a year right there. I mean, the markets moved more in a week than they did in a year. Wow. All right, we got a lot to get into. So start with FX, I guess. Hold on here. Bring this over. All right. So I'm actually we'll start with DXY. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, you got to be open to pretty much anything, and I'm dead serious on that. So here's what happened with DXY, right? So we got the big top, and this line is still important. We are right back at it. So here is the daily chart, okay? Waves count wise structurally, I'm not quite sure really what the deal is, because like if I zoom into a short-term chart, let's go to like a 60-minute chart, okay? I mean, really, like this is an impulse, but like you could certainly say that this is an impulse too, right? 5 waves up here. All I'm going to say here, all I'm going to get at is that, what's on the weekly chart? Okay, so I can do that. All I'm going to say is that on this daily chart, so like we're pretty much at resistance, really. I mean, you know, that right here, you know, that's resistance. This line's been resistance for forever. But here's what I said, wave wise, I don't know, because like this could be a flat or something. You know, I'm not quite sure. 95.15 was a big level, that spot right there. All right, we came down to essentially the September 2018 low and turned up sharply. So really, you've got to be open to a lot of stuff. Like my next move on this, right? And we're already actually, I'm long euro, not really at great prices, but long euro, and I think it's actually turned up a little bit. Yeah, we're at 11.10 right now. So we essentially came back to the fib and turned back up, but hold on here. All right. So take it. I mean, this is the best time to trade. Like one trade at a time. What's your next move? Don't think too far out. Okay. What's your next move? My next move is short dollar, right? It is right here at resistance. Okay. Now that does not mean that I'm going to be dollar bearish necessarily for the foreseeable future. For all I know, we come back here and we find support again, right? Because we have an impulse. All I'm getting at is that your next move is lower in the dollar. That's where my head's at. So let's just say that we had a top right here and we have a nice hourly reversal. Let's just say that's what happened. You know, 618 is going to be 96.20s. That's going to be pretty close to the 96.34 low back here, right? D slow, right? December 19 low. And frankly, that's kind of where I'm looking, and then go from there. Not going to make any judgments beyond that point. Okay. So next move lower in dollar, fine. Let's go to euro. Really helps to look at the longer term chart here, right? Here's the weekly. Oops, that's the daily. Sorry. Here's the weekly. Okay. Weekly chart. Median line, 25 line, right back. Big spot. We're closing 1107. It's been a big area. Like just look at that low there from May 2019. Look at those lows there from May 2017, right? Big level. Again, the chart that we were looking at recently was this one. This is the one I posted last night. And I still think this is a possibility, right? Up to 1770s. But again, probably not sticking around for that necessarily. I don't know yet. just think about your next move. Your next move is higher in euro, lower in dollar. We are long. 1328 is the 618. That's going to be pretty damn close to all this resistance anyway. Remember, we took a short up here, right? And then that's, your next spot. So, you're looking 220 or so pips to the upside right now, and then kind of reassess. Let's see what happens there. My guess is that you probably react up there, but again, not going to think too far in advance. Looking at British pound, here's a great example of weekly. Hold on. Weekly support, right? Weekly reversal support. What is that again, you ask? Take the low week, put a bar or put a line on the close. That price is 122.90. Today's low, just about there, 22.77. Okay. Is that it? Is this ABC? Are we higher in wave 3 now in British pounds? Certainly a possibility. Okay. When I see something like this, what's the proper way to look at it, the proper setup? Say you get like a 5, a little 5 up. You might get one more little stab on the lows here to make 5 down up here, but that's not necessary. We start to make a good move higher, get 5 up. What I would do at that point is I will then zoom into my hourly chart here on, with VWAP on futures, and I will look to see what the volume weighted average price for support will look like. So right now, I'll throw that up there actually. That's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning. All right. That's going to be your resistance for the moment, 26.05. All right. But yeah, British pound hit a support. This is a viable wave count. And before I continue on with different charts, I actually want to bring up because seasonal stuff. So we're in a very important seasonal window right now. And again, this is, I consider seasonal, excuse me, seasonality. I consider seasonality analysis complementary, right? Everything's going to always have to be based on price first and foremost. But you can see on the long-term 30-year seasonality, we go into a top on 327, so towards the end of March, okay? On shorter-term seasonals, 5, 10, 20, we're actually kind of already in a topping period. But you do have historically, April is actually historically one of the worst years, or sorry, worst months of the year for the dollar. So think about that moving forward. British pound, very strong seasonal, all right? British pounds, very strong seasonal up through April. And you can see, just look at this chart. This is a little different. It shows the histogram. Okay, this is 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And you can see that April, historically, the best month of the year for the British pound. So take that and then combine it with our proposed wave count here. I say this is a great wave count. I mean, 5 up, 3 down, right into weekly reversal support. The longer term play upside on cable, pretty compelling right here, frankly. So that is a very interesting idea moving forward. Let's go to say dollar yen seasonality, right? Dollar yen seasonality on a 5-year basis, we're already negative. On longer term basis, we hold up really through March. Okay, this is the first week of April, and you can see the big top, seasonal top there on a very long-term basis, 30, 10, 20. Okay, not so much 5, but on the longer term basis, histogram, you can see March historically pretty bad on a 5-year basis. On a longer term basis, you go out a little longer and you start to get the bad months more like in May and June. But this is also interesting given the current chart of dollar yen, right? So this is the chart we had last night. And you can see how beautiful that was, came right into support, right? And then we came right into resistance. So we kind of went a little bit through it actually, but 107.80, 108 was kind of the level. Okay, 618, we're closing on the 618 right now, actually 108. This red line, huge. So I'm gonna bring in a little longer term chart to show you where that comes from. It's this one right here, okay? And that's actually gonna be a bit higher. So that's gonna be 109.30. And you can see that's that high here from August 1, 2019, right? Former resistance, blah, 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 blah. Beautiful spot. But again, near term, what do we say? Look, look at the shorter term stuff. Like, your next, the ranges are big. Focus on your next trade, not the grand idea. Next trade here to me is short side. We are into resistance. Year opens actually 108.75, very close to those highs right here as well. Right? So you want to be looking to fade this strength right here, okay? Early next week, short side dollar yen, probably looking down towards 106.70 initially. That's going to be your center line, okay? And then maybe you get another push up into that, 109.30 area. It would be wonderful if we came back and traded within this channel, right? So come back here, 106.70, and get another run up to 109.30. So that's kind of where my head's at on dollar yen, which seems to be a bit more representative of maybe the dollar generally. You can see DXY was super strong today because of dollar yen, right? Euro was weak, but it was not as weak as dollar or as DXY was strong, right? 11% of DXY is dollar yen. So there is an influence there. It's not the Euro's 57%, but there is an influence. It might be 9% actually, I'm not sure, but 9 or 11. Either way, pull back 106.70 and then probably looking higher up in 109.30. For now, just focus on the short side with dollar yen. Okay. Where are we getting anything interesting on the volume stuff? Volume stuff gets a little messed up on rollover, and that's where we're at right now. We're rolling over to the next contract. Front month now moves to June from March in currencies and in FX. And in equities, right? We are on June now, so the volume figures get a little messed up on the roll, but either way, yeah, dollar resistance. All right, so we got that. So consider what I just said with dollar yen, right? Looking towards, kind of a pullback here and whatnot. Dollar yen and gold, as we have talked about a lot, tend to move, pretty closely correlated. So we're going to bring in. I'm going to bring in this gold chart. We're going to look at a couple gold charts. This has been absolutely huge. So let's go long term. Patrick, what's the deal with gold and silver? He says, the deal is it's trading beautifully. Disregard this crazy thing right here. You'll see what it is. I've said, a lot with gold. We were looking for a resistance. I've published these charts. We got bearish gold at the right time. We were bullish gold at the right time. We got bearish gold at the right time. The center line here is key. This is all the way back to the 1976 low. And here now is your 4-hour chart. This is that same line, that thick black line, right? You can see it was resistance back in 2019, right? Breakout, pull back, go, right? That's median line acceleration, right? Support again down here for the big takeoff, okay? We got up to the resistance level, we nailed it. And look what you've got now. You've got a 5-wave move to the downside. If I go hourly, a little trick, wave count trick, close, hourly closes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, big 3 down, 4, 5. Gold could be done with a near-term drop. I'm not necessarily a buyer yet. I would be down at 1480. Maybe we open up down there on Sunday or something, or illiquid can get a little gold flash crash action and then find support. I would be a buyer there, just like I would be a dollar yen seller. Let's see how the week opens up. But Gold, for the most part, it for me is probably done for for a while. So again, next move in gold probably higher, maybe not till 1480 though. Okay. After that, you're going to be looking for resistance and a retracement of this 5-wave move down in gold. So my guess is it's probably going to be up around 1613 or something like that. There's also, you could probably draw in a trend line back from here and see where that comes in. Not so sure. I don't know. Yeah, I would just I'd follow this short-term fork here. You know, on the seasonal front, we've pointed this out a lot, but gold seasonality, March is historically the worst month of the year, and that is proving true, right? Pretty beautiful stuff. So let's just say for fun that we did get down into 1480. Okay. If you went 1480, the 618 is 1614. That's exactly what we were talking about, 1613. This is just freaking beautiful. This is beautiful pictures. Rizwan says, sir, if I buy at 1480, what should be my stop? Well, first of all, Rizwan, let's see, you know, if we go to 1480 first, right? If you do and you get a reversal, like maybe an hourly bar, 4-hour bar, then buy it with a stop under whatever the low is, okay? All right, let's go to silver. Take a look at that, which has been destroyed. I think I wrote this last night, but I said if silver breaks that level, then you know, metals are done, right? And I believe that. So there you go. Long-term channel in silver. Could certainly bounce here. Does make sense for a bounce. That's probably going to be resistance now, though, at 1590 and change. And then looking lower. Let's look at bonds. Might be the most important market this week. So we smoked, nailed the target at 191. It's just unreal how amazing this stuff is working. And then we had this gigantic reversal. Okay, so got to be trading from the short side on bonds. Let's go to an hourly chart. Here's an hourly chart. At this point, you just have a channel, very simple channel. You know, whatever. Resistance going to be around 180 and change. Okay. If you were to drop beneath this channel, then we have the slingshot stop, right? So my guess is that you do come up here and you want to be a seller, but if you do drop below here, right, then you get the slingshot set up. And remember, that calls for a move back to the underside and then go lower, okay? And that would be probably taking you back to 157. Aussie and Kiwi, I'm not really that interested in at the moment. I'm not sure what the hell's happening there. They've completely fallen apart. You know, sentiment is nuts on the downside as far as extreme. Not really looking to do too much there. Dollar CAD is interesting with the crude oil reversal today, right? We had a big reversal today in dollar CAD. Like I noted last, and this probably posted earlier this week, I'd be looking down towards probably that, you know, 35 60, 35, 70 area. And after that, get a move up towards maybe 140, 130, and that would be a huge level. Again, that's the upside of the channel. Okay, you've also got weekly reversal resistance up there. The high week from 2016, Jan 2016. It's also the 786 retrace. So some great levels to trade there on dollar CAD. But again, next move probably to the downside. So if we wanted to try to set up a short on dollar CAD, I mean, 38.80 should be enough. Got a lot of setups heading into next week for near-term dollar shorts, in my opinion. Woo! All right, we're gonna go stock market stuff. All right, so oops, that's not the right one. Here you go. Okay, you've seen these charts. Unbelievable. All right, so S&Ps, I mean, just great. You know, median line principles at work, you betcha. So gap below the median line, support. We almost got all the way back there today. Again, that's going to be, call it 27, 20s, whatever. It's unreal how precise this stuff is. It's incredible. So if I look at this, say on a 4-hour basis or even hourly basis, right? To me, this is, if we look at this from just pure Elliott, this is probably a 4, right? You got a 1, a 2, a 3 maybe, and a 4. Now, I'd want to see resistance pretty quick on that level, like on 38.2, we're right there. Median line, again, 27.30 or so. Let's do an Elliott channel and see what that looks like. So that's going to be 34 degrees. 34 degrees, a little higher. Either way, we're just going to pay attention to what's happening over here, right? 27.30, mark it down. And again, in this market, you do have to deal with a little more, more zones, right? Precise points, probably not the best way to go about things. And here's a shorter term chart. This is hourly S&P futures. So this is just a simple pitchfork from the high. And that's going to be more like 27.60. So again, 27.30 to 27.60 is going to be your spot to really pay attention to this. Even if we are not, I don't know, right? No one knows the answer. I don't know if we've put in a major low or not. I have no idea, okay? I do know that 27.30, 27.70 is going to be resistance, all right? That's where you want to be putting a short out there, in my opinion. So that's what I'll be looking at heading into next week. This all lines up really well, by the way, if you think about, what I just mentioned in terms of other markets. So like you've got, dollar yen up at resistance, looking lower. We are looking for that gold bounce at 1480, maybe now, not sure. And we are looking for resistance in S&Ps a little bit higher. So those are all, really kind of fitting well together. The market correlations are starting to come back in line. We saw for years things were not It's very tough to get a theme as far as a risk on, risk off theme. We are getting that now, right? We're getting all that. You know, look how gold and bonds and dollar yen and trade this week with this this big move up. I did mention that a couple days ago when I said, look at the other risk on, risk off markets. Gold's down, bonds down, whatever. That was kind of a precursor to what we saw today, especially at the end of the day with equities, right? It's like equities are always the last to know, right? I always say it's a dumb market. So they finally figured it out and they ripped. By the way, we just got a little spike down here in cable, looking like that was our little 5. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a gap higher actually on Monday. Alrighty then, let's keep going. I got more stock market stuff to show you, and then I would like to take questions if you guys have them, so get them ready. Let's take a look at, let's look at the Dow. So, all right, S&Ps, we know where we're looking there. Okay. Just incredible. All the news, everything, and yet the market just adheres to the median lines and the resistance levels perfectly. It's beautiful. All right. Okay. Here is the Dow. This is a daily chart. Again, this chart, I know there's a lot going on here. I apologize. But let's look out. I'm going to go out to way out. Okay. Go out to a monthly chart. This is a monthly chart of, and I don't know why it's moved. It should not be moved over there. That's weird. This is a monthly chart of the Dow. This is a channel from 1932 low to 1982 low, extended from the 1929 high. So therefore we have a center line to work with, okay? Unreal. Center line, resistance, 59, resistance in the 60s, resistance back in 96. We broke above it for the first time in 96. We bottomed on it pretty in 2001, 9/11. We support on the way up in 0506. It was support on the initial drop before the financial crisis. And then we cracked it. It was resistance, and then the world fell apart. It was support back in 2018. It was support or I guess that was Monday, right? And we had Tuesday's rally. We fell apart. We're coming back to it. Needless to say, I think it's pretty damn important. I would pay very close attention to it. And that's going to be upwards of, call it 23.9, 24,050 or so. And you've got those, you've got these levels over there too. Right? We'll gap up in there too. So yeah, big spot for the Dow. Let's go a little shorter term on this too. Dow has been much weaker than the other ones. Did not quite go 1618 on that. Where would that be? The hell is it? There it is. 19194, which would be pretty close actually. Okay, so rip off that resistance up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, dump in 5. That's what I'm thinking. Very interested to read and see kind of what the sentiment is going to be like on this rally, right? So like, read stuff over the weekend, see if people are talking about this being a save, right? Or if people are still questioning that rally. We are in a great position because we know exactly where we're looking for the market to respond, right? We know that this area right here to this area right here is key, okay? That is key. And if we start to see reversal evidence up here, you want to get bearish again. That's all there is to it. Whew. All right. Stock stats. 92% up day today. That's big. All right. How about even longer term? So recall the crazy 1929 stuff that I talked about. So here we go. Pull this up. Okay, so let's go back and remember what the 1929 market looked like, right? Here you go. Low, high, low. Remember the center line was ultimately the crash area for the low, right? So where are we now? Well, low, high, low. Center line's way lower. You did hit a really good spot here in terms of this was the 75 line, okay? Point being is that I'm not so sure this is over and you could still get down here. So that's a lot lower, obviously. S&P, here's the S&P, all right. Median line's still a lot lower, 1870s. NDX, long-term, probably the best of the bunch. It's amazing where we hit that support today. Again, 75 line. Distance there could be pretty close too. The charts that are the cleanest for me are on the S&Ps are going to be, or on the market are going to be S&Ps and the Dow. They're the best to follow. I do think that if we do, if we get another bit more of a drop, watch this level here on NDX, 8250s, 8270, and the big test for this is 7186, right, on NDX. So again, think next move. Next move, short stocks up at these levels, long gold down 1480, or if we get a reversal signal, short dollar, right? Long euro, short dollar yen, probably short dollar CAD. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Short bonds. Patrick says, Jamie, in your opinion, what's the best setup for next week? Probably in FX or just in anything. I'd say the best setup is like heading near term is long gold from down here, either here to 1480, short dollar yen, probably here back to 107.60, probably short dollar CAD from 38.80, and short equities at the levels mentioned, a little higher. And yeah, those are the best setups I've got. Okay, you guys have questions? Rizwan saying take profit for gold. So on the upside, so Rizwan, once we find a low in gold, whether it's here 1480, I'd be looking back towards 1510, 1514, that area. Or sorry, 1614. Remember this right here. So up here, you're gonna have the 200 average on the 4 hour. You're gonna have that high over there. If you do get 1480, we're gonna have a 618 up to here. So that's level. You guys got anything else? Any questions? You guys too, Patrick. Thank you, man. Have a great weekend. Rizwan, thank you. All right. All right, guys. I will talk to you next week. And I can't wait for the market to open. This is awesome. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.